Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Boys Gone
Wild.
We're off and running. It's the third one. I'm doing it every day for every Monday and Friday. It's turning out to be more of a task than I imagined. But we're going to do it. I'm enjoying it. This is good. This week's going to be on old Jay Biden. Because we're not always going to do wild boys. It's not always going to be the boys who have gone the most wild. Sometimes it's going to be anti-wild boys. I'm going to talk about everyone. When I say boys gone wild, I'll be talking about girls. I'll be talking about boys who've gone wild, people who haven't gone wild. Because it's funny if they have gone wild, it's funny if they haven't gone wild. It's funny if they're girls, it's funny if they're not girls. You know, it just works to talk about any person, you know? And I don't, you know, it's not really about talking about the people, it's more about ranting about other things, you know? Like, I don't know if this is mainly a guy thing, but just a guy thing. Let's get some guy talk.
It's time for guy talk.
But I find it's fun also. I can add in whatever effects I want. So just that's the joy. You know? Like it's a lot of fun is what I'm saying. But I don't know. Have you guys been getting messages? Whenever I speak to another guy, they nearly always bring up like, been wanking a lot, eh? Like, yeah, in between. See if I can fit you in between wanks. Like everyone's been talking about how much they've been masturbating over quarantine, and it was weird. I haven't had a huge sex drive, so I already haven't had the urge to masturbate much at all. But because everyone keeps telling me they're masturbating, I've been like peer pressured into masturbating. It's really, I was like sitting there, I was about to masturbate. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't even feel in the mood to. But because everyone's telling me like, fucking hell, been wanking a lot, I'm fucking raw. Have I been reading?
Fuck no, I've been wanking.
And like when people have asked me like, oh, have you been wanking a lot as well? Because I'm embarrassed. I don't want to say, you don't want to go, no, actually, I've been working quite hard. I've been reading quite a bit. I've been actually keeping my head clear. Because then you just sound like a moralising prick. So I've been lying about wanking to people. You've been yeah. Have I been wanking? Have I? Yeah, all of it. I finished porn. Finished it. Yeah. Have I got Pornhub Premium? I've got Pornhub Premium Plus, mate. It's the weirdest thing. It's got to the point where, because everyone keeps talking to me about wanking, I've asked people, you been wanking a lot? And one of them said, oh, no, I haven't been wanking that much at all. So now I'm pretending I've been masturbating to someone who hasn't been masturbating, so I look like I'm a masturbating fiend when I haven't masturbated much at all. You know? That's been one of the strangest things about quarantine. That, and genuinely interested in this, can you comment down below if this is happening to you guys as well? Is it just me, or are old people constantly sending you funny videos on WhatsApp? I don't know what happened amongst old people or our parents, but there was some article that was sent round, probably on like askjeeves.com, that taught them all that you can forward videos on WhatsApp. Because I've been getting a barrage of funny videos on WhatsApp, and I'm furious about it. We didn't have this shit before. Like, there was your aunt would occasionally post something unfunny on Facebook, but you'd never get your mum and dad simultaneously sending you unfunny things on WhatsApp. But I'm just constantly getting forwarded ridiculously unfunny things on WhatsApp. Because here's the thing. If you're over 40 and you see something that's funny on the internet, it's not funny. Okay? If you see a little video and you think, oh, that's hilarious, it's not. Do you know what I mean? I just don't... There's no one over the age of 40 has ever sent me anything on the internet that's actually funny. Not once. And if you think, no, this is proper funny, it's not. One, I've either probably seen it, it was probably funny 5 years ago, or it's just, we're past that. And I don't think older people have really cottoned on to how little they truly understand what young people find funny. Mum, you can't send me a picture, a political cartoon of Donald Trump as a hot air balloon. That's not funny. Okay? It might have been funny on Have I Got News for You 300 years ago. But now we're past that. If you look at the kind of memes I'm consuming, you wouldn't even know what the fuck you were looking at. Alright? This is a generation of people who have grown up, who saw ISIS beheading videos before they learned how to ride a bike. Okay? Like, we've been watching violent pornography and the North African dictators getting executed and sodomized with brass poles by the time before you'd learnt your fucking alphabet. So when you send a top text, bottom text meme, just keep that in mind. It's 100% not going to be funny. We're so jaded that to make us laugh, it has to make absolutely no sense. Okay? And even people in the 30s are doing it. This new generation, I have no idea what we'll be sending our kids. I wonder if it will go back round. I wonder if our grandkids will go further along, so that it's basically just all jokes will be in fucking Morse code. Or will they go back? There will be a rediscovering of basic kind of humour. Anything Trump related, nearly every single take about Trump isn't funny. My mum's got a fridge magnet. That's a picture of Mike Pence and Donald Trump. Mike Pence is pointing at Donald Trump, and the caption above it is, "I'm with stupid." So, that's the sort of level we're dealing with. Mum read me a joke. She got forwarded on WhatsApp a joke that she read out. Like a proper joke, like a street joke. The joke was about Donald Trump, because obviously. Right, on to our boy who's gone wild this week. It's Joe Biden. Yes, he's not a boy who's gone particularly wild. He's sort of the opposite. But I'm going to be talking about everyone. I'm going to be talking about people who've gone wild, people who haven't gone wild. I'm going to talk about who I want. I'm going to say boys gone wild because it's funny. I'm going to talk about girls and just call it boys gone wild. That's what I'm going to do. And Joe Biden, he recently won the Democratic nomination. I have a lot of opinions about him, but very few of them are funny. So I'm going to try and keep it short. But, I mean, firstly, shout out to Bernie Sanders, the real OG. He's a BGW OG. What a fucking legend. Because a lot of leftists, like leftists I went to uni with, will say, like, Bernie wasn't left enough. He wasn't radical enough. But they'll spend their whole time sitting in university seminar rooms saying things like, we should open all borders and prison shouldn't exist and all policemen are scum and this kind of stuff that's easy to say in a seminar room. But what Bernie fucking did was he came this close to power. Well, you know, he came closer than anyone has for 80 years in America. So fair play. Because he wasn't just talking about it, he actually nearly did it. And the way, how gracefully he left both elections. Both when Hillary Clinton rigged the election. I'm not going to explain why, because it's not funny. And when Biden and the Democratic Party rigged the election again. If that happened to me twice, if I'd made the most democratic crowdsourced election campaign in the whole of US history, and both times got beaten right at the end by vested corporate interest, I would not have dealt with it in the way he has. He's been an absolute gent. So shout out to Bernie Sanders. And fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Joe Biden. The most boring cuck you could possibly have hoped for. I mean, I was furious when Hillary Clinton won and the fucking fake liberals supported her. Yes, Queen, slay! People who are basically conservative, but they want to get invited to Soho House. You know, they want to stay in the cool parties. So they're like, yes! Joe Biden, he's so cute, isn't he? Oh, I love the way he stood by Obama as he drone striked the whole of the Middle East and killed more than Bush. I loved it. He's such a cute boy. Yes. 10 times Joe Biden was super cute. Go fuck yourself. See, I can't talk about it because I don't funny. I get fucking mad. The funny thing is, Joe Biden's going to get absolutely eviscerated by Donald Trump. He's not fit to run for president. He doesn't know what fucking day of the week it is. Someone had the meme that he was like the grandpa from The Simpsons, and he is like, what? Who? President of where? He's going to get absolutely eaten alive by Donald Trump. And because the Democratic Party was so terrified of Bernie Sanders coming in, because it threatened their donors, their corporate vested interest donors. Boring. I know it's boring. Don't need to tell me it's boring. They were so scared of Bernie because he represented a real change that they did whatever they could to get a different candidate. That's why every single centrist dropped out of the race to make sure all the votes were funneled towards Biden. But Elizabeth Warren, the fake radical, didn't drop out. So she could split the votes with Bernie Sanders. And then when she dropped out, she didn't even endorse him. I mean, but now they've won. They're like, finally, we've beaten Bernie. That was close. And now they're like, right, who we got? Oh, fuck, it's Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Who? What? By Biden? There's like, have you seen that that scene at the beginning of Troy? You know, the Brad Pitt film, where they've got two armies, but they're going to settle the fight by letting their champions fight. That's what it's like now. They got Donald Trump, big dick swinging Donald Trump, who doesn't give a fuck, just racist scumbag who just says whatever the fuck he wants. Who are we going to do to fight this existential threat to humanity, Donald Trump? Who is the man who's going to take the responsibility of helping fight a real threat to the globe? Please welcome Joe Biden. Who? Me? He's going to get absolutely eviscerated. Joe fucking Biden. I mean, just in the presidential debates, it's just going to be an absolute bloodbath. And look, Donald Trump's pretty invincible at the moment. I think if Bernie Sanders had been there, there would have been at least a clash of the titans. Because Bernie, he's old, but he's not senile. He's with it. He's a bit fucking crazy. The fucking billionaires! The 1%, the billionaires! You know, that I would have liked to see that fight. You're a communist. You only want to fight the billionaires! Fund. But Joe Biden. I mean, look at the two, just to show you how clear it is that Donald Trump is going to absolutely flatten Joe Biden. Look at the two sexual assaults, the sexual misconduct scandals. Joe Biden inappropriately hugged some of his employees or people working for the party. And that nearly ended his career. Donald Trump is recorded saying women like it when you grab them by the pussy, and it boosted his ratings. He's invincible, and Joe Biden nearly got taken down for hugging. How embarrassing is that? Donald Trump's just like, yeah, girls love it when you grab them by the pussy. Basically, that's proper sexual harassment. And then Democratic Party had a crisis because of hugging. You're just not ready for how much you're going to lose. And I hate to say it, I'm going to enjoy watching it because fuck you. And if I was in America for the first time in my fucking life, I wouldn't vote. I genuinely wouldn't vote because fuck you. I voted. I believe in voting. I'm not the Russell Brand thing. I don't agree with that at all. I think you should always vote. But this is the first time where I'm like, I'd go for an independent candidate because fuck you. Twice, you've rigged an election so that a centrist candidate can go up against Donald Trump. The first time, Hillary Clinton lost against Donald Trump. I know we've all accepted that he's a political phenomenon now, but at the time, that is a fucking embarrassment. If you lose against a reality TV star who had that many scandals, That's an embarrassment. Clearly it didn't work. They're going to do it again. They're going to lose. And if you're a Bernie supporter, I don't think you should vote for him. Fuck it. And if you're a Biden supporter, you can't turn around and say, oh, you lost us the election. No, you lost us the election. By picking the grandpa from The Simpsons. Hey, what? Do you want a hug? It's going to be an absolute bloodbath. Going to get absolutely eviscerated. Because this is Trump's game. And you can't help. As a comedian, I kind of like... Trump is hysterical. Politically, obviously, he's awful. Obviously. We all know he's a fucking scumbag and represents the end of the world. We all know that. So stop posting on Facebook anti-Trump memes. Oh, now you've... You know what? I've seen a picture of Trump's hair, but instead of his hair, it's a duck. And now I was a Trump voter, and now I've decided, you know what, I'm going to come over to your side. It's just such a weak take. But you can't deny that Trump is the funniest president there's ever been. He's just... Liberals don't know what to do with him. Like, there was one hilarious clip when a lot of this coronavirus stuff broke. Because he kept on calling it the Chinese virus. And like a Liberal reporter asked a very well worded, a very well thought through question. And was like, so, Donald Trump, Mr. President, why do you keep insisting on calling it the Chinese virus when there are statistics showing that this kind of behavior is encourage racist attacks against Asian Americans? Like, that's a question that would floor any president. If Joe Biden got that question, he'd be like, what? Mum? Huh? Chicken. Yeah, I'll have chicken for breakfast. Donald Trump goes, because it came from China. It's the Chinese virus. It came from China. And, like, obviously, that's a racist thing to say. But it's also true. You can't argue with it. Completely stumped the reporter. It's a genius. So fuck Joe Biden. Fuck the Democratic Party. They're definitely going to lose. And don't blame Bernie supporters who have chosen not to vote for Joe Biden when you've twice rigged elections so that you have the very candidates that people who vote for Trump are trying to get rid of. Scum.